Ladies and gentlemen, I am Israel and welcome to Hearthstone, the Mega-Minion deck. Episode 4 I think we're up to, and I'm having a bit of a rethink about this because the Northshire Clerics, while they're kinda tempting on paper, never quite managed to live up to their promise. Most people have worked out that it only applies if a minion is healed, and will therefore leave them alone and useless until having enough fire to kill them off around about turn 4 or 5. So, thank you ladies, you're gone. So, now that we've got 2 card slots to work with, what can we go for? Well, there's Shadow Word Death, which is a good high-end killer. Watching Soul Priest now basically turns it into a rather high-powered mage clone. Everything that healed now does damage instead. And the Temple Enforcers I'd actually dropped from my deck in an earlier rethink could bring them back. However, looking at the high-end neutrals, we've got the Stormwind Champion, and that is about it for expensive cards, not to mention the Core Hounds, 9/5/7 mana. Could also go for the Lords of the Arena, 6/5 taunt, so yet more tanking. Although the Frost Elementals, which kinda have an interesting side effect, freeze a character when you get a battle cry, when you deploy them, or Wind Furies, boot one of those up to 10/10 and it would turn into an absolute nightmare with Wind Fury. What else could we go for? Boulderfist, yes, Boulderfist Ogres. Enough attack to be dangerous on their own, and more to the point, if you then start augmenting up, you go up to the magic 14 damage. So, we'll pop those 2 in, get the thickies into the battlefield, and then I think we'll lose the raid leaders as well, because they've also not lasted. They also tend to die very quickly. People do not like raid leaders for obvious reasons. Alright, what else could we go for? So, Spellbreakers are silenced to dispose of a Taunt in a Hurry. What else is there? Frostwolf Minion, Gurubashi, I am quantity locked on. I believe I've only got one of those in the hand at the moment. What to go for, what to go for, what to go for. Dread Corsair's a little bit pointless, even though it would normally be cheaper, but I'm not a warrior, I don't have a taunt to work with, or I don't have a weapon to work with. Oversparks in the deck. The Tauren Warriors are an interesting possibility, particularly if you double up to 6, inner fire to 6, and then double up again to 12 and then rage for 15. But that requires too many cards to get the maximum effect. Frostwolf Warlord really works best with multiple summon decks, so, for example, multiple Stormwind Knights and such like. I keep coming back to the Lords of the Arena and the Stormwind Champions. Yeah, let's go with 2 Lords of the Arena. Mid to high end characters, taunt as a defensive line, and 6 damage, so I'm not completely dependent upon getting enough fire to get some actual damage onto the board. Let's go and see how horribly wrong this can go. A druid! Well, it could be worse.
I must protect the one.
And it just got
bring
worse.
victory.
Let's lose the Light Spawn and the Booty Bay Bodyguard, and we'll keep the second Light Spawn on tap as a possible mid-game offensive option. That does not really help. Okay, so I could potentially yoink a Light Spawn up to 7/7, but that'll have to wait till turn 5. Okay, Light Warden for the Ogre. I have too many cards starting light. Okay. Could Power Word shield that and just get it up to 4 health. Give it a bit more durability, a bit more time to exploit the +2 attack bonus going into turn 3.
What to do?
A lot depends what comes out on turn 1, however. And what I draw next turn, of course. So... hold off. Okay, let's go for the extra health. And we have a Bolt Fist. Okay, so that gives me another mid-game option, and we'll just slap him in the face. Now, are you going to risk trying to hit my Light Warden with something? He's thinking this over, which is disturbing. It means he is plotting and planning. Of course, he could just pull out Shapeshift. Yes, and that's what he's done. So, are you going to go for the beatdown? No, you aren't. Okay, I have my second Lord of the Arena. Right, nothing I can really do at this point, bar get rid of his armour. Nothing worth healing, and hang on to the Holy Smite for the moment. End turn. Okay, we have another armour up. And, okay, that'll take to 3 attack. Now, are you going to chance it? Are you going to waste that card, my friend? Boom. Okay, I'm still there, however. Okay, so... Holy... or rather, Lesser heal the Light Warden, so it's just quickly patched back up and is now a 3/3. In the face, and I've really got no use for either Pain or Smite at this point. I have, however, had to delay deploying the Light Spawn by a turn. Potentially 2 turns, in fact. Since if he starts to get creatures out, is he going for a big creature deck, and am I missing my opportunity at this point? Okay, Direwolf Alpha. I can kill that in 1 shot. And now I can't kill that in 1 shot because it will take out my heal. Okay, so if I... heal up again, that'll take it to a 5/4. And then hit it in the face, and we trade away, which is awkward but unavoidable. At least I've drawn multiple cards from him to deal with that 1 creature of mine. Again, hang on to the Holy Smite, and see what he pulls. Next turn I think it's going to have to be the Lord of the Arena. Start getting the mid to size to big hitters in play. And he's thinking the same. Here comes an Iron Fur Grizzly and a Frostwolf double layer taunt. Fine by me, since I have got a Lord of the Arena to play with. I see your taunt and raise you. You are going to have to go for a trade unless you are very careful. Unfortunately, that does leave him with initiative, since he can start getting more creatures out. 5 damage now. I would have gone for the kill on my Lord of the Arena, to be honest. Because what I can do now is simply snap once. And I think we will go for the Shadow World Pain into the bargain. Get rid of him. Pull out a Lightspawn. And then in a little bit of improvisation, I should have just used Holy Smite there, shouldn't I? Bowls. Right, okay, so we're up to 6-4-5-5. Wasted my second powered shield. I'd prefer to keep that on the Lightspawn and boost its attack, but at least this way the Lord of the Arena might not fall over this turn. 8 mana next turn, so options I think will be the second Lord of the Arena, or the Boulder Fist Ogre, one or t'other. 5 damage, here comes the kill. Okay, again he's laid off the Lightspawn. I wonder why he's doing that. Are you in the mood for suicide, mate? Or are you just desperate for some pork chops? Desperate for pork chops, it would seem. Okay, what are we getting? Right, we'll pull out the Lightning. Heal up and exploit the game there, and put the Booty Bay Bodyguard into play. Oh, and hit Malfurion in the face. Right, so we are kind of... I'd say I was in a good place here, but to be honest, I've said that before, and every time I do it ends up going horribly, horribly wrong for me. So, 9 mana next turn. He is going to start pulling out some very big creatures if I'm not careful. So, Holy Fire and Blitz. I need to start killing quickly. He is sitting on some very big creatures, given how late he is leaving his board development. What's coming? Dragon, perhaps? Is that all? Okay, so 5 mana left. What's going to pull out next? Booty Bay Bodyguard. Fine. Okay. So, Holy Fire the Bodyguard. Get rid of it immediately and heal up the damage. That will trigger the gain on the Light Ward, which will allow me to take out the Patriarch, heal it again with mana, and then just smack in the face. Let's see how badly my arithmetic has failed. Fire 1. Okay, that's fine. Fire 2. Heal there.
Farewell.
And 2 punches to the face. And you know what, let's just pull out the Holy Smite, because I really have no other use for it. Just because. Right, so next turn. Overspark if he pops a taunt to clear that. Are you going to double heal on me? Because really that's not helping you. As I was saying, Overspark next turn if he pops a taunt. Or indeed if he pops a big beastie of any description. And we'll get the Ogre into play as well. Although, to be honest, they're both 6 attacks, so... swings and roundabouts. Could pop the 3rd taunt just for the hell of it. And if that's all... Is that all he's going to do? You're kidding me. Is he really out of options for this turn? Has he blown all his mana somehow? Oh, wow.
What to do?
Concede, mate. I've got you. Alright, so... heal the Light Warden. I am a moron! Fortunately, I don't think it will make a difference.
Farewell.
In the face. In the face. In the face. Ah! What am I on? Did somebody slip some heavy-grade tranquilizers into my food? Healing an intact mob when there's a damaged one right next to it. How stupid can you get? Anyhow, let's go for another round, see how badly wrong this can go. That may have just been dumb luck. It usually turns out to be the case. Interesting that dumping the Clerics does not seem to have had a significant effect on how that deck plays. Also interesting that it was a Light Warden that turned into my heavy hitter. Mind you, he healed himself at one point, and that boosted me quite nicely. I still tend to struggle against rogues, mages, and hunters, though, which is a bit awkward, because those are probably going to be fairly heavily represented among more competent opponents. This is just based on analysis of the fact that my luck hates me, and will take every opportunity to dump upon me from a great height. Okay, so I am going first. Light Warden turn 1. Power Word Shield to follow. We'll hang on to the Lord of the Arena for the moment because I might need... Actually, no, turn 6, no. We'll dump that. See if I get something better for the end game. Excellent, a Lightwell. Okay, so... Ooh, and Inner Fire, right. So, Lightwell for starters. Now, the question is, do I go for Power Word Shield, take up to 4 health, or do I pop the Lightwell and trust I can keep it alive? It being the Light Warden in this case, for that turn's vulnerability. Okay, we have no deployment on turn 1. So we'll chance the Lightwell. I can always use Inner Fire to turn that into a 5/5. In fact, that's not a bad idea, actually. Could even turn it into a 7/7 next turn. So that's worth considering. In fact, as an early game blitz, that's got something to recommend it. And if I get my second... If I get a Divine Spirit, it has even more to recommend it. So... That sounds like the thing. Okay, he's pulled a 1/1. That's his only option this turn, unless he's got some 0-cost cards available to him. What am I about to pull? Holy Smite. Okay, so Power Word Shield for starters. See what I draw. Not a Divine Spirit, which is awkward. So we will... Inner Fire there. Kill that just to beat it down. It also gives me a damaged mob to heal, assuming he lets it live, and then 7 points of damage to the face on turn 3, which isn't a bad opener at all. So he now thinks he's facing a Blitz deck, and he would be right! So, Lightspawn or heal next turn. Probably Lightspawn if he lets the Lightwell live, because that will do the healing for me. Holy Light. Okay, so is he panicking? You know, I think he might be. Okay, secret. That is probably eye for an eye. Which leaves my options rather limited. I could pop the Lightspawn and risk running, and you know what, I think I will. Pull the Lightspawn out, run the Light Warden in first, trip his secret. It'll probably be eye for an eye. Nope, Noble Sacrifice. Fine by me, that works just great, except it's killed my Light Warden. What a pisser. I forget those things have 2 attack. And Lightwell to the face. You will click the Lightwell. This is revenge for 3 years of being ignored in raids as a priest. You click the Lightwell, or in Hearthstone, the Lightwell will click you. Okay, rant over. Turn 5, my options are limited. And now they're suddenly rather less limited. Unfortunately, I don't have the... Ooh, second Lightwell. So, we will run you in there. Pull out the second Lightwell. Heal it anyway for giggles, and then smack Uther in the face again. What worries me is that he's probably sitting on a very high-end deck at this point. He's gambling that he can hold out long enough to get some big hitters into play. Of course, that didn't work for the last guy I ran into, but it may work here. But luckily, that 7 attack lets me kill most taunts first turn, so I don't have to worry about them getting revved up. Really? An unsupported raid leader? Are you trying to die? I'm just going to hit it with Holy Smite, you know that. Okay, what comes out? So, Yes, Holy Smite into the Raid Leader just because. Then we'll pull out the Mega-Minion Warden to give me a defensive line. And repeatedly bash him over the face. And that's the flip table. Well, I can't say I blame him, but I suspect if his deck had drawn in a different order, it would be me cursing my luck. He may just have been hand-blocked from the sheer number of cards he had going into that situation. Anyhow, let's see what comes up. Play a third one. Because I can. And here's where I get horribly owned. Okay, Warlocks. Fortunately, they nerfed Blimps. And that's an absolutely appalling starting hand, so we'll mulligan the lot. Go. Am I going to get anything better? Marginally. Inner Fires gives me some options around about turn 3 or 4. Light Warden's the obvious opener for turn 1 unless something else comes up. Okay, so Lightwell for a 5/5 powered shield would be handy, but what the hell. Getting a 5/5 into play on turn 3 is a significant blitz advantage anyway. So, what are you going to go for, mate? Well, at least it drew one of his more awkward removal cards. So we will pop the Lightwell, no need to bother with Inner Fire at this stage, and just get at least a little slap out of the Light Warden before she goes boom, like so. Right, 2/2. And you think I've got no offensive potential, so with a bit of luck you'll relax and get complacent. Because I'm not letting you have that proc for a while, well, mate, or indeed at all. So I'm blowing one of my attacks early here, which isn't recommended. But boost it up, and then hit it very hard, and then hit it, just because. Right, and while the Lightwell is busy clicking him, we'll see what he pulls out on turn 3. My next option, of course, is the Mega-Minion Warden. If I'd been a little more patient, that would have left me as 7/7. Oh dear, do I take some desperation there? Because I can just remove that next turn. Mind you, it's coining, so what's coming here? Okay, no, deck search. Right, so his card's started. At least he's damaging himself to do it. Okay, Mega-Minion Warden. Gives me a taunt option, and then we'll just get rid of your succubus before that gets any more up to speed than it already is. Does leave the Lightwell a little vulnerable though, which is not ideal. So we have a life tap. He pulls out Mortal Coil at this point.
Do I have to?
Okay, the blimp. Fine. Lightwell heals itself up, and limited options. We'll get the Booty Bay Bodyguard into play, and then just hit Gul'dan in the face a bit.
Job's done.
Okay, unfortunately I cannot go for the blimp just yet. On the bright side, at least that's not the crippling problem it was pre-patch. So here comes Shadow Bolt, there goes the Lightwell. Got some mileage out of it, let's be honest here. Personally, I would have considered taking out the Taunt instead, but not to worry. So, options, options, options. If I bolster up the Bodyguard and go fishing... No, let's just get the Lord of the Arena into play. And hit him again. Okay. Hanging on to Holy Nova for a bit. As much as I would like to get some mileage out of it, A, I don't have anything like a second Light Warden that would take advantage of the healing proc, and B, it's overkill to get rid of one blimp. So, I may have just changed my mind.
I can taste the mana.
I have definitely just changed my mind. Okay. Right, so... You, I think, have got to go. Like so. I don't think what... Alright, fair enough. Solves me that one. He must have thought he was out of just... Okay, back up to rank 19. Is it going to last? Probably not beyond the next game, so let's find out. And another 10 gold. So, what else do we have? 18 of 40 minions. Why not? Next round. I seem to be on a streak, so we'll go for one more. I suppose that's one of Hearthstone's best qualities, really. This just one more round option. And indeed, almost, well, addiction. Let's be honest, Blizzard know how to make addictive games. Unfortunately. Right. Oh, mirror match. This could be horrible.
The light shall bring victory. The light shall
Okay, so he's going first. Right. We will hang on to the Lightspawn. We'll hang on to Pain for some early removal. We'll lose the Boulder Fist Ogre. And I've got Overspark, so that gives me a bit more removal if I need it. So, immediate options are basically do nothing. Turn 1. Unless they draw something that I can play on turn 1, which is by no means guaranteed. This could be an interesting match. Depends how good he is. We're both rank 19. Okay, so do I chance it and coin out a Nightwell? Because I'm risking a Shadow Word Pain to just kill it immediately. Yes, let's chance it and steal the initiative. Bit defensive, and if he pulls out a Shadow Word Pain, on the one hand I lose a Nightwell. On the other hand, it does remove one of his principal taunt killers.
I hope you like my invention.
No Lightwell, or rather no Shadow Word Pain, so... What's my next option? Well, I could deck search with Power Word Shield and just bolster the Lightwell again. Again, that leaves me vulnerable, or I can pull out Shadow Word Pain myself, which is overkill into a 1-1. On the other hand, he knows he can't immediately attack me. No, let's go for the deck search, because I need to ramp up rapidly. Okay, that is so very tempting to Divine. I need an Inner Fire, though. Doesn't really matter, mate. The Lightwell will heal it either way unless you can capitalise, so you might as well not bother. On the other hand, the temptation to... Oh dear. There are several things he could nick from that, and none of them are good. Oh yes. Oh baby. Ha ha ha! Oh baby. Right, I don't care if he pulls out Tinkmaster Blasted Overspark at this stage. I'm just going to have some fun. Clicky! Come on, you can't leave that in play. 14-14 on turn 4 is not happening. Okay, here comes a taunt. That is not going to help you very much, however. Because I am going to break out my... You know what, let's just break out Overspark. I'm getting... No, play it safe, play it safe. Shadow Word Pain, get rid of the Senjin that way. Do not get carried away, do not get overconfident. Pull out the second Lightwell, go defensive. And then hit him in the face again. What did you copy?
Your magic shall not save me.
Dash. Oh well, it was fun while it lasted. Just need to come up with... Well, at this stage, all I have to do is hang on to turn 6 and pull out Holy Fire. So, what are your available options? this point, actually, all I need is a Holy Smite. Fine, well, we'll pull out the Taunt, as I said,
Job's done.
because he's burned his silence, and then next turn it will be Holy Fire and just kill him off unless he has something spectacular up his sleeve. He's probably thinking that he's drawn the worst of my teeth. Okay, so that's a Shadow Word Death gone. Now, are you going to try to kill off one of my light bolts? And now you've got Shadow Pain. Okay, there we go.
Someone injured?
And you're going for the beatdown, which is not going to save you because of what I have in my hand. No, I think we'll just play it safe and go for the kill. Boom! Oof. Right. I don't believe it. This deck is actually working. Am I getting foolishly overconfident? Probably. Tune in for the next episode of the Mega-Minion deck, where normal service will be resumed and I will start getting owned horribly. Until then, farewell.